For number corner today, we're going to be doing a problem string, and for our problem string, it's going to look a little bit different. Instead of using our number corner book to record our thinking, we're going to be using one of the apps from the Bridges website. So we're going to be using our clock model app, and you're going to be putting your work from that into a slide deck. And then once you're done, choosing one of those problems to explain your thinking on a Flipgrid. So let's go ahead and get started. To get us started, I'm going to be explaining how to use the app on your web browser, okay? So I have an example problem here, and it says, use the clocks to model adding 1/4 plus 1/12. Write one or more equations to show your thinking. So how can thinking about a clock help us add fractions? So the first thing I need to do on my clock is decide how many pieces does it need to get broken into. Well, I know I'm adding 1/4. So if I need to find 1/4, I need to have my denominator, that 4, that bottom number, shown on my clock. So down here at the bottom, I have pieces, right? It says fraction mode. When I click on it, it asks me how many parts, and I decided that my denominator is going to tell me how many parts I need. So I'm going to go ahead and click 4, and then OK. And then I'm adding 1/12. So when I think about how many parts that is, I look again at my denominator, that bottom number, and I put in 12. So now I'm set to show how much I have. Well, I have 1/4. So I'm going to click on one of those sections and use the fill key down here. I'm going to click on that teardrop, and I'm going to fill that first one in. Okay, then over here on this clock, I have to fill in 1/12. And maybe I want to use a different color to show that it's a different fraction, right? I can do that. So here I'm showing my 1/4 and my 1/12. Now I need to go ahead and add those together. And if I look at this, which pieces, how many pieces am I going to want to break my answer up into? If I do fourths, am I going to be able to show this section of the clock using fourths? No, I'm not. That is too small. It's not going to be shown here. Could I use 12ths to show my 1/4? Well, yeah, I could break that into smaller pieces and still show 1/4, right? So when I think about that answer, I want to look at if I were to lay these kind of on top of each other, what lines would I be able to see? So I see that I'd be able to see 12ths, so I'm going to go ahead and make that 12ths. Here are my pieces. If I go back in and I change this, if I'm not quite sure what number to use for my denominator, if I go back and change this to 12ths to just check, well, hey, I can see that I had these 3 shaded before, didn't I? So I can go ahead and shade those on this one. I'm going to go back and change this one back to fourths so that my equation is shown correctly. All right, so there's my 1/4. I can see that it's still showing 1/4. I'm going to add to that my 1/12, and I have my answer. Now, how I explain my answer, I need to see how many pieces do I have all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 out of 12 pieces. So when I go to write my answer, I can say that I had 1/4 plus 1/12, and that equaled 4/12, right? So I can represent my equation that way. All right, so that's just a quick rundown on how I can use my clock model to show my fractions. I see that I have my answer shown here. I have my answer written out here. The only thing I have left to do is hit that share button, and I'm going to copy that image, and then I'm going to paste it into my slide deck with the corresponding or matching problem. All right, go ahead and get started.